I'm always so confused by this. This vertical, you guys, because it's like a weird. I don't know if you can tell, but it's weird. Well, well, well. I don't even know. Is this gonna stay? Will that do it? No, it looks crazy. All right, well, hopefully it doesn't fall over and spook somebody in the middle of the reading. We'll all have a good laugh, yeah? Okay. All right, I think this is enough, Grace. There's nothing really more that can be done. I'm going to go ahead and get started. This reading, I'm hoping it's not that intense, you know? Are we ready? Is anybody here? It said people were here, but nobody says anything in the comments. You guys, every so often it does this, and it gets me so sad. Because I'm starting to notice that whenever it does this, it's not telling people to come to the video. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, oh, well, great. The whole point of this is for us to be able to hang out and spend this time, and for me to be able to tap into the collective energies. How am I supposed to do that? All right. If you are here, do me a favor and like the video. And if you can, leave something in the chat. What is your DM's sign? What is your divine masculine's zodiac sign? I am hoping to get more of us sharing here, because I think that we're starting to enter a phase where more and more of us are going to have more in common, where our journeys are going to become more similar. And I think it's going to be good for us to be able to connect a little bit more. So please, if you're here, share what is your divine masculine's sun sign. This should help, yeah? Okay. Well. Time to go, Grace. I don't like starting when I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to do it because I don't also like to leave people waiting, because most of the time, everybody's waiting. Oh. How weird does this look, by the way? Remember to be patient with me. From time to time, we're going to do this vertical setup. It helps us reach more people. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the reading and we'll get going. By the way, just to be very, very clear before I do start, if you have made a purchase with me anytime before this moment, this live, you should have gotten it from me, okay? My entire booking list is clear. So if you haven't, check your spam, check your inbox, or check to see if you actually provided me with an email address, because sometimes people only put their phone number and then we can't reach out to you. So just want to make sure everybody knows we are clear. I have a few calls this week booked. Otherwise, you guys, I'm very excited. There are some new things that I get to do for the collective and for the ministry. So it's time to move into that new season, yeah? All right. Okay. Why is this even here? I don't know. All right. Okay. Welcome to ASCENT. I'm here with a reading. We're going to talk a little bit about the divine masculine energy. Let's get started. So we have Three of Pentacles, team. Two of Pentacles, hard choices. Together that makes what? Five of Pentacles. And that is definitely an energy our divine masculine is familiar with. I think it tells us that a lot of the hard choices that they've had to make coming up to this point have everything to do with that connection, that shared energy, that shared future. And there is, many people would argue that the April 8th, or yeah, April 8th eclipse was, a huge event. But some would say that oh my goodness, I just lost it. My brain just went, what is conjunction? Oh my gosh. Conjunction, junction. What's your function? The Jupiter conjunct Uranus. I think that what's happening there, people would say, no, that's bigger. So again, this is something that I've been trying to explain for about 6 months now, especially if you've listened to the New Wave Prophecy information. But I've also been talking about it for a couple years, where as I started to study the astrology that I was led to, I don't just study astrology because I'm an astrologer. I'm not actually. I'm led to specific things that are usually tied to twin flames and light workers. And I find it interesting that I was led to look at a bunch of cycles over the past few years that everything was kind of ending in the last few years and starting in the next couple of years or this year. And I started talking about that a few years ago, that I noticed it, like these huge patterns, things we hadn't seen in, 50 years, 100 years, thousands of years, whatever, were all just kind of culminating right now, all coming to a close, all starting in this new season. And so I'm just not really surprised to see this energy for the divine masculine at this time. This is just a huge year energetically. So, all right, having to make hard choices that are going to lead them towards that new beginning in this connection. And again, the fear they have about that is not really knowing what to do in that place. Oh, Four of Wands. I love to see it. It does make me really happy. I mean, we have now what? 2, 3, 4. There's this step by step. I think what's missing though is the first step. Hold on. Divine masculine, wanting to see divine feminine happy, wanting to experience that coming together, that joining is the word I hear. And there's the one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 straight up. Now what was it? What did it look like? More like what? 2 or 3, 2, 4, 1, which is not uncommon, I think, with our collective in particular. We often have divine masculines who, they don't do things in the right order, all right? They don't. They're all over the place sometimes. But this is actually making me think about something, how we closed a cycle last year, and now we're entering one. And one of those cycles that we're entering, that, that's a part of all the ones I'm kind of talking about here, is this new 14-year cycle. And I think it's very interesting that the 14-year cycle, again, if you've been keeping up with the new wave, the 14-year cycle with this Jupiter conjunct Uranus energy we're feeling, right? Well, we also have 2 7-year cycles that we as twin flames and the new wave are about to experience. And so there's something about this that just says, look, it's all going to come together, whether DM intends for it to, whether we think it is, whether we think we know what the divine plan is or not, it's going to happen. And it's not going to be the way we expect, but it's going to be exactly as it should. All right. What do we need to know here? 9 of Cups, harmony, the dream, the wish come true. All of our concerns are fading away. What do we need to know? I'm going to take these tonight and put them aside and try to remember to do a love letter at the end. I love everything about you, but your wild side is my favorite. And there has been, it was funny because I posted a tantric love letter today. There has been a very intense energy. I think that probably has something to do with maybe the Scorpio full moon energy, right? Like, but again, I don't think that's it. Hold on. So we're going to put this to the side. Actually, we'll keep this. Get in the deck if you want to come back out. But just keep that in mind in the future. I'm going to take these black cards out. But what do we need to know? What are we missing here? 4 of Pentacles attached. And we had what? King of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, now Four of Pentacles. The only other four we saw was that Four of Wands, that homecoming energy. So it's very clear here that divine masculine, through this new cycle that we're entering, they are being pushed into a space of, hey, focus. Look at this. Look at how everything that you want and everything you've ever desired is laid out in front of you down a path that you keep brushing off. Look at this. Pay attention. Everything you could ever want is right there. You know, in the movies, now I'm picturing oh my goodness, I wonder if you're here tonight. You talked about this the other day too. But I'm picturing American Beauty, right, with the plastic bag floating around, and it's like so beautiful. And everybody always, all like Family Guy type shows like to make fun of that scene. But it is a common trope. We do see that slow motion beauty. And sometimes it's just something like this. You know, the bride walks outside on her wedding day because there's been a change in the weather and now it's going to snow and things are going to be totally screwed up. And instead of turning into a bridezilla, you know, she walks out and has this moment that the photographer captures where she just embraces it. There's something about what the divine masculine is seeing that makes me think they maybe have been having dreams. And I know I sensed that recently, but I think this is more intense. This is very vivid and specific. Oh, okay. All right. It's like you're right there. You're right there, but they're being told, okay, you have to conquer your fears in order to be blessed with this. All right, well, there's a lot going on here. So let's just get some cards. And again, if you're just making it here, please let us know, what is your DM sun sign? All right. I'll take that over there. Three? Okay. So let's take these. I kind of want to do... I want to look ahead and then I want to look back. This is going to sound weird a little bit probably, but I don't know why I feel like that's what we're supposed to do here. So this is going to sound so weird to some people, but this is what I'm seeing for some reason. I'm seeing like the divine masculine in the future. And I've actually expressed this to some of my divine feminine clients when we're doing coaching, and I say, look, something that is really special that you can do is imagine you and your divine masculine in the future. Imagine you and your DM 10, 15 years from now. You've been together, right? Like when you picture it, there is no thought of separation, or it's just fully immersed in the beautiful reunion life, doing your light work. There's not even a question of it. It's just a part of you. Like you guys are both kind of peak divine beings. Imagine it, okay? I am picturing that moment for some reason, like 15 years down the road, and how there's a flash, like a deja vu almost, but a flash of remembrance, and it looks back. It's like, and I just saw a rock skipping. What is it? When you skip, yeah, it's a rock, right? That you skip on water. And it does like a double skip. One, two. Like, okay. So I want to look back or forward and then go backwards. So how do I want to do this? All right. On that day in the future, and the reason I say I mention this to my clients as a coaching exercise is because sometimes we're so focused on like the getting together that's going to happen in the next few months or years, and the forming of the couple and the fixing of the problems, that it's really hard to see us actually reconciled. So I always tell people it's just a good exercise. What happens like it's weird, but I see this day where the DM remembers today, if that makes any sense, right? The day that you're watching this, the DM is going to have a flashback. What are they going to think on that day about you in that time? I stay with me here. Oh, wow. That you are their, they're the Bonnie to their Clyde, that you are their adventure partner, that you feel like just a natural fit in their life. And that I don't know why, but I think that this might be a turning point moment actually. Kind of 14 years from now, your DM looking at you on a day where maybe you guys have just decided to do something really big and really important, and they have this memory like, man, I feel like I've done this before. Okay, all right. What is remember the rock skipping? How does this play back? So about 7 years from now, we're together. It's not as deep as you get when you're like, 15 years in, right? But you're past the point of that first 5 years, which is a huge marker. You're starting to really get into the depths of a relationship. Your DM wakes up on this day and they have a flashback and a flash forward, I think. This is a moment where they start to feel safe with you. What are they thinking about you on that day? Wow. Shift, Six of Swords. I think this says the divine masculine is finally ready to lead. And this is tough because what this says is I think the beginning part of our relationship is actually about both of us testing the waters of that equality that is a part of divine twin flame connection. And I think the divine masculine reaches a point here where they want to see what it's like if they really join you. I think what this tells us is the divine masculines are willing to come along even before they're truly open to all of it. And I think it's interesting that they flash back and they think, wow, like I can't believe I feel so good doing this. This is huge for them. This is at a point in the future where I don't think they ever thought they would be. And I think this is the point. Like, this is the first day of the rest of their life. So, what about today? Today, where we see a turning point and all this just massive energy, and there's so much going on. Again, some of you will reminisce about the Mercury retrograde that happened after that eclipse season and just think, oh my goodness, like I remember sitting in that energy and just feeling like I was in the middle of a huge storm just being thrown around for weeks. Like, there's something here that needed to happen for DM. I think we're going to remember it, but I think here for them, there's this point where they say, you know what? Maybe I'm enough. This is less about you and like them not wanting to be there for you or whatever, sometimes how we can twist it in our fears. This is more about divine masculine being able to say, wow, like I'm enough and all my flaws and problems, I can use them for something. It's going to take time. These DMs are they're so hurt. They're so overwhelmed. All right, so what happens here today? Doesn't matter. This is beautiful. I'm ready. I want to leap into this energy like I never have before. When I think about my divine feminine, it makes me want to jump. It makes me want to do whatever it takes to help bring about the necessary changes, the necessary energies in my life that frankly I wouldn't even do for myself. The divine masculine looks at the divine feminine and says, you know what, maybe I'll go that way and it'll be worth it. And it can be so hurtful to us that when it's just like, it's not romantic to you. You're not excited. You're not like, head over heels shouting from the rooftops. And it's like, no, actually, it's a little bit more of a quiet warrior approach to love and life. So many of our divine masculines are, I don't want to call them damaged or broken or tainted or jaded. I don't want to speak that upon them. And yet it is the reality of their current circumstance that is what life has done to them, whether they allowed it or whether people in their life kind of made them this way. Some of us have experienced that kind of abuse that can just make you hurt yourself even. And so we see a divine masculine who, when they, even in this moment with all this misunderstanding, not really knowing what the energy is about, still, even in separation, still, when they think of you, they want to take the leap. And we can see the water, the fish, now they want to get on the boat. And then suddenly they're deep in the water with you. They're not so afraid. So this is really special. All right. I want to look again at this date in the future. This is a weird question. What is the divine masculine? This is such a weird question because it's about what they knew they were hiding, that they're still only like, even here, all those years down the line, what are they finally willing to surrender and be honest and real and just trust you, like just trust you about it? Like what is it? Wow. And this to me is not just reunion and union. This is not just about being open and willing to the connection. This is about surrendering to the healing, surrendering to the divinity in the physical world. Not just what they feel or sense about you, but what they know can happen when they completely open themselves up. Meaning that for the past 14, 15 years, they have allowed healing to happen here, healing to happen there, healing to happen here, healing to happen there. But I think what this says is there will come a point where they finally realize, this is mine. This life is mine. I am safe here. I belong here. And this person, they have surrendered their whole emotional self to me. I am safe with them. And it is okay for me to start to heal the parts of myself I never knew anyone would help me get to. It's like I'm picturing, I don't know, it's somebody vulnerable. I can't tell if it's like an animal or a kid or I don't, maybe even an elder, right? But it's like maybe they're holding their hand and you don't know why. And they won't let you get near them and they won't let you help them. And you always see them and you can tell they're hurting. And finally, you finally let them and they open it up. And it's like this thing is like in their hand. And you're able to say, hey, I can get that out for you. That's what they carry. Do you understand that even in the reunited bliss, the divine masculines will most likely use the light work and the relationship work as distractions from their true healing? Divine feminine, you have your work cut out for you, not in doing their work for them, but in being around someone who you can tell that they're hurting. You know exactly what their problem is. You know exactly how to help them, and yet you can't. And it's because those things are a part of what makes them a divine masculine. And whatever needs to happen over the next 14 years to finally lead them on whatever the new adventure you guys are going to start, to just heal and fully embrace it and surrender themselves to it. Everything that they did to try to hold that up and prop that up is going to be teaching them, showing them so that they can be present for the people you two are here to serve. So what happens on that day when they finally say, this might be a day where, I don't know, they walk up to you and they say, you know what, I want to go to couples therapy. And you're like, why? I mean, you never wanted to before and everything's fine. And they're like, that's why I want to go. I want this to get better. Like, I don't know why I just got like emotional about that. Like, I don't know. It could be a day where things are just different. What happens as they look back? How did they feel on this day? What, as they were hiding what was not yet healed, but also remember, starting to accept what has to occur And what has occurred, it's kind of like, well, who was and is to come, right? Like what has occurred, what is happening now, and what is to happen in the future. I have to accept it. What is happening here? What are they thinking about when it comes to you? Wow. Inner alignment. This is really important. I feel like the Two of Wands and the Divine Contract showing up with the Six of Swords, the shift happening because of inner alignment, even here being able to look at you, they're not really all the way in their fullness yet as a divine masculine. I think it takes many, many years of practice. They're not in the early stages still. They're not where they are right now. They've had some things happen that have helped them feel like they can trust divine. To have inner alignment here and kind of be the central point of this reading, I think what it tells us is the divine masculine wants to be able to fulfill their contracts, the things that they are meant to do. They want to understand why they're here, but it actually takes revelation. They've been looking for it, they've been seeking it, they've been hoping to find it, but weren't really sure how. And when it comes to you, you have been a compass. You have been someone that every time that there's something that needs to be done, it just makes sense. You have been a staple in their life for 7 years, maybe. At least a few by this point. But what they haven't told you is that they still don't feel like they belong. And I think this is interesting that years from now, DMs will still not understand who they are in the grand scheme, who they are in your life, who they are in this world. And I think that when they look at you, they will still feel intimidated. They will still feel small. So this is important to have here. We've got these twos lining up. But what is it here? Today, as they reflect back on this day, but even now, this day, as they're thinking forward about the future and wondering what could be possible, what do we need to know right now? What is DM thinking about divine feminine? Wow. We have the Fool and the World, the completion. We have the fresh start, the new beginning, the grand dream, but we also have the fullness thereof, the enlightenment. And I think that the question that they have here is, will I ever be able to match my divine feminine's energy? Will I ever really fit in this world? And I think this might even be the divine masculine looking to, there is this feeling of completing some things that have been leading up to this point, but then also looking forward to the next phases of their life and questioning and wondering, am I going to be able to do this? Has what I've received and gained enough? Am I focused? Am I in the right place? This is their thought towards these next phases. They really, I think, have kind of a plan in mind, maybe not in motion, but in mind, like trying to fit pieces together. And I think that the reason why it might take them so long to really reach this state of seeing the truth of who they are and to reach this state of feeling the trust to heal is because of the weight that they put on themselves now. You have to think that this is coming from many, many years past of failures and mistakes and regrets. And now we see a divine masculine who looks at you and all they can think is, how do I tell my divine feminine that I'm still not done? I keep telling my divine feminine that once I finish this phase, we can be together. We can go on our grand adventure. We can have reunion. And I'm going to tell you, there's a chance that coming into this season, DMs were already thinking it might be another 10, 15 years before they could settle down. Coming into this season, divine masculines were questioning everything because it was like, maybe I'm still doing it wrong. Maybe I'm just the problem here. But I think something is happening right now in the whole DM collective where they're looking at the decisions that they've made. They're looking at everything that's led them up to this point, and they're thinking, maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. And maybe what I shouldn't tell my divine feminine is that I still have my eye on the prize, which to me says what I will tell them is I did it. Let's be together now. I know I told you that we would need to wait until after I achieved this goal or did this thing. Yeah, I totally did it. So can we just be? And I think coming into union in this season, many of you are going to have divine masculines that you assume they made this sudden shift because they were finally ready because they did the thing. The thing that they told you that they still had to do, that they couldn't be with you until, yep, they did it. But they didn't. They're going to lie to you so they can finally be with you, which is ridiculous. And your job is going to be to know whether or not you should say something. Like, hey, didn't you say you wanted to do this? You know, I'd love to help you. I'd love to be there for you. Let me know if there's anything I can do. Or knowing your DM well enough to know that if you even bring it up, they're going to freak out and, so you can't. That's going to be your task. And then I want to go this way now, all right? What is divine masculine most afraid of right now? As they're coming into this energy where they leave behind their fears and they really just embrace what matters, which to me is that Four of Wands we saw in the very beginning, that homecoming energy. I want to be done so that I could begin. What are you afraid of? King of Swords. Interesting that we see the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, two of our colder kings. If we see these two kings, we will think, maybe not the best energy. When we're talking about like love, I think what they're afraid of here, and I'll be honest, I see the divine feminine's energy all through this reading, not just because of the feminine figures, but there's something about this that actually is like the DM is looking out at the divine feminine. The DM is imagining how the DF makes them feel and kind of internalizing that. And this here comes through and says the divine masculine is terrified that in your logic, you're going to know that they haven't achieved it and that you lied. This is what they have kind of twisted up in their head because of all the people in their life that they really can't trust. They think, remember, they told you, oh, we can't be together till I do this thing. Maybe they didn't, but most of you, that is exactly what happened. Okay. Some of them have not been that direct. Some of them don't realize that's what's happening. Then they come around and they realize maybe that's not so big of a deal. Maybe I need to chillax a little bit with the whole wait till I've done the thing and then I can be happy. Might be a little bit dramatic. Okay, let me pull back. And then somehow they twist it in their head and tell themselves that you were the one who didn't want to be together until they did the thing. And it's gotten worse, I think, because of the conversations that are happening in the world around them, where more and more, you guys probably understand the state of like the dating pool. Again, not all people, but the average dating pool of just like average muggle type people, like regular folk, is petty and, I mean, emotionally, it's just not a safe place. And so somehow, even though they know you're not that person, they see that the world is like that and that many feminine energies have become very masculine, very much takers. And now there's this weird, irrational self where they worry will have have come to your senses and realize that if they don't achieve that thing that's not worth being with them. And then on the other side, have this sense about them that it's it's the wrong thing for them to do to present themselves to you this way because you won't accept them. And it's like, what are you even talking about? I liked you when I met you. I liked you when you were who you were before, now. So what are you talking about? But for them, this is the issue. This this fear issue has been something that I think is the most prevalent energy in all the readings that I do. In public, in personal readings that I offer, like fear drives the divine masculine collective. And if you are aware of the way that a lot of the twin flames that are, in this kind of energy feel, like whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you kind of get your tarot novella, right? Divine feminine energy can kind of become rooted in fear when in separation. And so it's very important for us to not only be sending very clear and direct messages, being, the best possible friend we can be during separation if that's available to us, but also just making sure that the divine masculine has no room for that error, making sure that we're doing everything we can not to trigger that rejection sense in them, because that is what is driving so much of their fear. And when we trigger that fear in them, they look at us and they lump us in with the rest of the world. So what they are most afraid of right now is you not accepting them coming home or taking that leap, and again twisting it because they've somehow made it where you were the one who told them they weren't enough. It's complete and utter BS, but that's where they're at. How does that show up here? Now you got to think about it. This is how we come together. This is the energy that will most likely be surrounding us as we come into union. This is years into our relationship, many years into it. What is it that they are still dealing with in that, fear center? Six of Pentacles, the give and take. And many of you know that this is the divine masculine's way of showing love card. This is the divine masculine wanting, and think about the Six of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite, okay? Because this is where some people say, huh? The Six of Cups is the divine feminine's way of showing love. Think about going and growing someone a flower, and just the whole amount of effort and the process, and then giving them a flower in a planter and being like, I planted a seed for you and I grew this for you and I wanted it to be ready for you on your birthday and it bloomed on your birthday. Here's a beautiful flower. That is such a feminine, beautiful, nurturing, natural, pure love. Then we have the divine masculine's way of showing love, which is, I have 15 stones. I know 15 people. I could give all these stones to one person, but if I give them to 15 of them instead, then everyone will get one and everyone will be happier. And then our entire kingdom will be better. And then we will all go out and get more stones. The way that they process is actually very logical. I think it's interesting that directly after, because I always say Six of Cups is love, Six of Pentacles is logic. Love and logic is the perfect way to run a household, to run a classroom, to run anything. To see the divine masculine coming from, I'm afraid of the logic, to now I'm afraid of my own love. I'm afraid, we can see it's very much connected to the same things of, what is it that I'm supposed to do? What do I feel led to do? What is it that others are allowing me to do? The give and take, the giving and receiving of life. And I love to see the give and take here, mainly because of the energies we're working with. We're halfway through, because we're going to look back at this too. Halfway through this period, the divine masculine is starting to realize that it is a part of their divine purpose, but also like their nature. And I think they really told themselves it was you. I think that's why they felt so intimidated by you, because they wanted to be able to give like you gave and to be like you are. But they can't, because, look at you. They get so wrapped up in the wow that they don't even think about the process of like, hey, just do it. A lot of us as divine feminines, when they get weird about us, we're like, bro, I'm just living. I don't know. I don't know how to tell you. Like, this is just something I've always done. And they're like, oh, so amazed. And I think that even years into the relationship, the divine masculine is going to be facing this issue of, wow, like I can do this too. And I don't have to do it your way, but I can't. This is weird. Why do I want to give? Why do I wish I had more? Now that I have 15 stones and I've given them away, my heart feels empty. And it's not because I don't have the stones anymore. It's because I want to do more. There's this desperation, this need. This is the calling. This says the divine masculine's calling is going to take them many, many years to actually step into it. But they're going to hear the call and they're going to follow the path for a very long time. And I believe this is only confirming what we hear in the new wave prophecy information that says the divine masculines will be moving in the right direction in 2024 and beyond, whether we think they are or not, whether we want them to or not, whether we think that they should be moving this way and then said they move this way, so they must be wrong. It's like, nope, that's right. This is just a different time. It's not like the last 7 years. It's just so different. It's incredible. And I love to see this start. What's this? What is it that even on this day that they're afraid of when it comes to you and reunion? Honey, I'm not surprised. This is mine. This is my life. This divine being wants to be with me. They are afraid of everything about you, but also what it means to have to give birth like you've given birth. Look, I mean, 1, 2, 3. Can you guys see down here? I don't even know. 1, 2, 3. See, in the future, it's not going to be like it is right now. Right now, everything is so discombobulated and out of order. But I mean, can you see like this is actually not that out of order, because what you have here is 0 to 21. You have the full cycle. Then you have 1, new beginning starts. Here you have 6 to 6. This just, to me, is this crowning, this, I can't explain it. This energy just makes sense to me. And then you've got 1, 2, 3. And I think that this is kind of an energy that says everything's going to turn around. Because the divine masculine chooses to ignore their fears, to follow the path of love, the next 14 years are going to be incredibly intense for the divine masculine collective. But I see so much reunion energy in this that I say that it's going to be us too. And that's why our energy is all up and through here. This deck, by the way, has plenty of cards with men on it. But the only male card we see here is the union card. And yet this energy absolutely represents the DM. And I'm telling you, this is what they see. When they see their future, this has always been their problem. All they can see is you. They cannot see themselves in it. Think about the 10 of Pentacles. You can see the lady's face, and you can even see there's a little kid, there's some dogs, but the man's face is completely blocked. And sometimes they say that the elder sitting kind of closer in the foreground of the picture, who we can see the half of his face, that's the young man. That he can maybe even see himself in his old age looking at that life, but he just cannot see himself that happy, that joyful. That is your divine masculine. A wretch. Ugh. Okay, please like the video. Please like the video. What do we need to know? What are we missing about all this? And there he is. Our King of Pentacles has come about once again. This was in our 1, 2, 3, 4 of our original energy reading. This is the intensity. The light is shining upon the divine masculine, revealing everything that they're supposed to know, pointing them in the right direction. What is it that this reading was meant to reveal to us about this new cycle that we're entering? Page of Pentacles, stay grounded. Allow your divine masculine to be humbled by the universe. This is going to be a very important season for them. But in order for them to become the king, they must first embrace their page, first embrace the knight. They must first embrace the kingdom, the give and take. We have now seen 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 of Pentacles. 5 of energy. 5 energy came up. King, page. This Pentacles energy being a part of the energy itself, but not the reading, also tells me this is talking about that 7-year cycle of Pentacles that we're entering now. It would only make sense that your DM, a DM King of Pentacles, constantly trying to pursue their highest, well, I don't know about the highest, but their most important goals of something Pentacles related, saying, I can't come into union with you until the Pentacles is achieved, spends the last 7 years in Swords energy trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong and why they can't get there and why they can't fix anything. And then they enter the Pentacles energy and suddenly the light shines and just divine just brings them something new. So, all right, I'm going to pull a few more. I want to get some black cards here. I'm just going to like literally pull some out. I'm going to take these with that. Is there any more like that? And then these with that. And let's just get a quick channeled message here. Really quick. 2, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine wants you to desire them. They miss you. This card comes up almost every reading when I do a love message. Notice it didn't come up before. It didn't come up here in the original, but here. When I do a love reading, this I miss you so much comes up. So, Divine Masculine, what do you want to say? To think that I could forget you is silly. It is not possible. Sometimes I find myself accidentally saying your name and I don't even know why. I'm trying to say some word and then instead I say your name. It's like my brain is trying to tell me something, like my heart is trying to reach out and get through to me. I miss you in a way that I cannot explain. And I've been having some thoughts about you that make me wonder if, is it just lust or something? Every so often I get like this and I don't even understand it. It's normally, I don't even want to think like this about you. I don't want to put those thoughts into my head. I don't want to have that kind of relationship. I want something different with you. And I don't want to let myself think like that. But I can't help it. I want to find out where you are and what you're doing. I want to see you. I want to know. And I don't know, I just can't help it. It feels like I'm supposed to. It feels like I should know everything about you all the time. And I do my best not to get so wrapped up in those thoughts that I'm good for nothing, but I can't really help it. I want this time to be over and done. I want to be able to follow the feelings that I've been having without questioning everything. I want to know that the way that I feel about you is okay. Because in the past it wasn't okay. And I feel like until this time is over and this new thing begins, I'm not going to be able to let this go. I'm not going to be able to walk away. I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about you. So can I really blame myself for wanting more? When we're not together, all I can think is that someone's in the wrong place. Someone should either come here or I should go there. But one of us is making a mistake. Maybe both. I just know I want you. I need you in my life. Everything I've been doing was so that I could have that. So I could have your presence. So I could have your wisdom. So I could have you in my bed when I want you. And when you want me. Because you want me. You know, that's important to me to know that. I want you to want me and I can't stop. But I know that I have reaped what I've sown. And all I can do is hope that I can prove to you that it isn't just lust. It isn't boredom or desperation. I know you don't have to stick with me, to be with me, to love me. But you don't know how good it makes me feel in moments where I think to myself, you're mine. And you want me to be yours. It's what matters. It's what matters more than anything. All I've wanted for so long was peace of mind. And I thought that I needed to get everything so in order that I could control it. And then I would feel peace. But the more I tried to control, the more I had to take control of. And suddenly I realized that I didn't have enough hands, arms, anything to just get a grip. So now it only makes sense that I'm kind of reverting to my old ways and then having to fight them off. That I'm questioning everything because I want to do it right. And that through all that, all I really want is just to be with you. Everything is so backwards. I don't know why I did this. The more that I think about it, the more I know that I want to be better, the more I know that I want to be with you. And it was frustrating in the past, just, to make a mistake and then, oh, another mistake. But now it's killing me. I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this. Now it feels existential. Now it feels like I'm wasting my breath. And I don't want to do that anymore. I think we deserve better. I just have to hope that my truth is enough. That following my heart is going to lead me in the right direction, and that you really do love me the way that I think you love me. Because I think what I've been avoiding for so long is rejection. More rejection. And one day I could see us happy. But the hardest part is seeing the how do we get there? Because if I could just see how we get there, then I could go that way. I guess that's all I got. All I have at this point is just follow the things, the paths, the feelings that feel like tomorrow. Follow the flame. That's all I can do. I used to want everything to be perfect. That's why I tried to control it all. And I think there was something about you I understood could not be tamed, could not be controlled. And that made me feel like I had to put you out, keep you out of my mind. I'm still afraid. I'm still terrified of what it would mean if I just gave in and let you be you and just accepted you as you were. But I am so drawn to you and intrigued by you that I'm willing to sacrifice my idea of perfection for a chance at adventure with someone as beautiful as you. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want to leap into adventure. I want to feel the fear but do it anyways. I want to live a life with you where I know we can make beautiful things happen. We can create our own destiny. And even though we will not be perfect, we'll be perfect for each other, right? I think I'm starting to understand that about love. I think I'm starting to understand that about us. I was so desperate to be perfect for you that I missed out on the chance to be with you. I won't make that mistake anymore. If I'm lucky enough to get a second chance, I'll never make that mistake again. Okay, guys. This is why I do this stuff at the beginning of the reading now, because, come on. If you made it all the way to the end, be sure to leave your comment signature. 3 emojis. These are mine. Do the YouTube thing. Thank you so much for liking the video. To those of you who are kind and loving towards our ministry and like the videos, thank you so much, because it just means everything. But videos like this reach more people, reach the right people when they have likes and comments. So thank you very much for doing that for us and for the collective. If you're interested in working with me, there is currently no wait. If you've already made a purchase and you haven't received it, you should have, so contact me as soon as you can so that I can get that over to you. Okay. I have a sale going on my website. I have New Wave Prophecy stuff on my site. I really suggest you check it out. Post Mercury retrograde coming soon. Finally gonna be out of this eclipse energy. Can't wait for May 18th. May 14th through 18th will be pretty intense energetically as we finally start to come down, basically from spending a very extended period on the top of the mountain. So just be ready, okay? I love you. Have you made it to the end? What did I say? Did I tell you something already? I want you to leave something in the comments that makes you think of divine feminine energy. Send a whirlwind of feminine love to the divine masculine in your life in the comments, okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.